Hello, my friends. I wanted to do a little bit of sharing about maybe some color today. So I took this image in my backyard and it's got these beautiful little fairy dusters. They're a little bit pink. And then in the back here, I've got the brittle bush that I've posted a couple of times. You can see all the fairy duster blossoms, and then in the background is the yellow of the brittle bush. So what I want to do today is I'm actually going to come into the color grading. We can also play around with the luminance, so I can bring those yellows up and down, can bring the reds up and down. Or if I'm not sure exactly what color is here, I can play with that. So it looks like that is blues and purples. If you look at that slider, I took the color picker and clicked on that, so you can see the color picker is there, and I'm just selecting an area of the frame that I want to play around with. If I wanted to, I could come in here and do some saturation with it. There we go. I can make it brighter saturation. I can also play with the hue and make the yellows, turn it green, turn them really orange. This is, starting to get into those fall colors. So that's maybe a way that you can play later and trick your folks, or trick people into thinking that maybe a scene that you have is actually fall colors. Sometimes I like to come in, and Arizona has a lot of yellow in our greens, and I really, really prefer more blue greens. So I will actually come into the green slider and, increase that hue from more green towards just a little bit of blue, just to give it some of that cooler green tone. I prefer that personally myself. But what I also wanted to show you was the color grading tool. What I want to kind of do is you've got three areas here: highlights, midtones, and shadows. So this is going to be our shadow area, this is going to be our highlights area, and then the midtones are going to kind of be everywhere. But what I want to do is I want to maybe bring out the pink in those flowers. So I'm going to click on the eyedropper and hold down the Control or Command key, which will allow me to select a color from my frame. Now that's coming in and bringing in a little bit of purple. So let me make that really, really intense. So, that's way, way too intense, but you can kind of see where we're at. And in my head, this is actually maybe a little more towards the pink side. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that pinkish color. And then the luminance slider here, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my shadow section. Whoops. Driving a little bit like a crazy person. All right, so going to my shadows, I could do a couple things. I could do a bluer tone. We just talked about how I like blues, but I could also go directly opposite, so complementary. And you can actually do the math here. So the hue is 285. If I add 285 plus 190 or minus 190, that will give me the opposite color on the color wheel. So 285 minus 190 is 95. So let's go to the shadows and plug in 95. And that gives me the color that's exactly opposite this pink, and that should be really, really pleasing to the eye. I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit just so it's not super vibrant. It was a little too green, and that's with the color grading off. That's with the color grading on. I could also take this luminance and bring this luminance down. You can see it's bringing that green down a little bit. And the last thing I want to do, we could actually come in here and do a tertiary, or kind of do that third color. I'm actually going to pick kind of a yellow color. I could come up here, grab this, and pick one of the yellows here, but in my preference. That's a little bit too green. This is a little too red. So let's do the yellow here, and then I'm actually going to slide the dial over to the yellow orange. Now this is way, way, way too vibrant. I'm going to bring that vibrancy down. I could also, or saturation down. I can also adjust it here. I can pop in a number. I can click over this area and hold my mouse and slide it back and forth, and it'll also go ahead and adjust that. I can bring those colors up, but I actually think I want to bring it down. I'm going to bring it down quite a bit. That's going to go ahead and make these little highlights pop even more. So this is without the color grading. This is with the color grading. This is the before. It was a little under exposed, and this is after. Hope you learned something, and would love to see how you guys, if you guys try this and kind of how that turns out. You can do it, use this technique, maybe not the color picker aspect of it, but you can do it in your mobile app as well, your mobile Lightroom. If you have any questions, let me know.